Okay, so in this one, I'm going to be kitbashing the Saturnine Praetor for the Dark Angels, and also the Centurion miniature, which I'm going to kitbash for my Sons of Horus. And as you can see, I've built up some of the Praetor here, and I'm going to start by adding on this Dark Angels symbol. So you'll see that I've left a piece just here and with nothing on it. And I'm going to put this on there. Now that sticks out a little bit. So I think actually I'm going to file this down a bit more and then put it on. Hindsight is 2020. And yeah, it would have been a lot easier if I'd have just filed this down before. So we're not off to a great start, but trust the process in this one. So yeah, I'm just going to use one of these little sanding sticks to sand that down as much as I can before I glue it on. It'll still stick out a little bit, but it'll look a little bit better than it did before. And yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Again, honestly, trust the process for this, because until them shoulder pads are on, some of these steps are going to look a little bit strange. But no, that's not too bad. We've got our Dark Angel symbol on there, and we've also got some Dark Angel heads. So they are Mark 6 heads, but they're really nice. I really like these. I'd love to use the one with the wings, but it's not going to fit. But what I am going to use is one of these with a Dark Angel's symbol on the forehead. And yeah, I've just never got round to using them for the actual infantry. To be fair, my Dark Angel's army really is about 10 infantry, a couple of heroes, and a Preator at the moment. So I'm going to be adding a few elements from the Saturnine set to that army, and then hopefully one day I'll flesh it out a bit more. So I've chopped the neck off, and that'll fit in there quite nicely. It's just a case of getting it angled the way I want it to be. And once that's in, I can put the little neck guard bit on as well. And yeah, his visibility might be a little bit poor, but it's just the design of these Saturnine kits. So I 3D printed this Mace top to replace the hammer. I absolutely love the hammer, but we are going for like Dark Angels here, and I thought like a mace would look really cool. So I'm a little bit out of shot, as I often tend to be, but I'm going to chop off the top of the hammer. There we go. And then also the pipe as well, and I will tidy up where the pipe was connected as well. And again, really trust the process. I know it looks large, but the hammerhead was large, the axe head is massive, and whilst it look really out of proportion now, once them shoulder pads are on, that really beefs up the miniature. You can see why GW made the weapon heads really big. So that's how it looks. And if you're wondering where I got it from, I found it from a Gloomy Angels STL, and I've just edited it slightly and obviously resized it. So I'm also going to take a shield. This is from the Deathwing set. I wasn't too sure about the shield at first. I'm still not 100% sure. I think it's the angle, with the angle of the arm. If the arm was more straight and the shield was like vertical, then I'd have liked it a bit more. But because it's at this sort of strange angle, it messes with the silhouette a little bit. But I just want to do something different. I mean, it'd be easy just to put the plasma weapon on there, but hey, I'm going to just put the shield on. And that'll just sit on there like that. And it goes on quite easily. Whether I decide to keep the shield on or not, I'm not sure. But for purposes of this video, he's having a shield. And again, once the shoulder pads are on, it doesn't look as bad. Okay, so here's how he is looking right now. And I'm going to put this rope piece on his chest, but I want to replace the little round symbol with this tilt shield, which again is from the Deathwing set. And yeah, it's just a case of very carefully chopping around this piece. And then once I've chopped that piece off, I'm going to just try and flatten the top of it as much as possible, starting by just chopping a little bit off, and then get one of my sanding sticks again and just filing that down smooth. And then once it's smooth, I glue it to the miniature, and I can put that tilt shield right on top. And that'll go on there quite nicely like that. So just another little detail just to add to him. So I've now glued them shoulder pads on, and you can, well, hopefully you can see what I mean. Like, suddenly the head of the weapon doesn't look too out of proportion. It's still quite large, and I quite like that about it, but the shoulder pads do seem to make a lot of difference on here. So on the back of the miniature, I'm going to take the banner from the Centurion, which also comes in the Saturnine box, and I'm going to glue this book on, which is from the Dark Angels upgrades set, I want to say. And that's going to sit on there, but I just need to raise it up just a little bit. So I'm just taking a little bit of sprue. This is like, you know, little round bits that you sometimes get sticking up off the sprues. Just a bit of that cut down. And then once that's in place and is dry, I can get a little bit of glue, and I can glue this on. And you'll notice I actually end up gluing the book on upside down because I'm an idiot. But it really doesn't matter. I mean, that little square box can just represent an image in the book, so it doesn't really matter what way up it is. So before we go into the final reveal of him, as you can see, I've got the Centurion here, and I'm going to take this standard top from the command upgrade sprue, and it looks very much like a Sons of Horus symbol, which is probably what it's meant to be. And then that is going to go on his back like so. And these are all quite universal, so which I really like. So that fits on there really nicely. So that's how he's looking with that on. And next, we're going into a Mark 6 upgrade heads again. And this time I'm going to take the Sergeant head from them. I know it's Mark 2 armour and he's got a Mark 6 head, but who cares? It looks pretty cool. And it works well for Sons of Horus, being a Sons of Horus upgrade. And with this one, the ponytail's separate, so you have to sort of glue that on. Which is good, because you can sort of glue it whichever way you want. And yeah, I think it works really well. Looks pretty cool. So I'm going to take this double-headed axe. This is something that we stock on our web store in our Bitsbox Originals section. Because, yeah, double-headed axe is very original. And that's going to go on there. And that's literally the kitbash for him. That's why I just stuck him in this video rather than giving him his own one. But here we have the Praetor. And I'm actually quite happy with it. I didn't put the cloak on because you have to get them shoulder pads just bang on right to get that to fit. And I think with the positioning that I've done with the arms, they're not quite right. So it didn't fit very well. These kits are a bit of a pain. You've got to get them exact. But I think he came out really well. I absolutely love the mace. Maybe I could have gone a little bit smaller, but I don't know. What I loved about the hammer and the axe is just how massive they are. So I had to do the same with this. And yeah, I really like it. I like how it came out. I really like the book on the back as well. And yeah, bit of a pain to put together, but really, really lovely miniatures. And these things are huge. And then finally, have a little look at the Centurion. But of course, not much kit bashing here, which is why he's just come in the end of this video. But really nice. I'm looking forward to painting these guys up. And if you want to see them, you can look on our social media. There's links down below. And if you have enjoyed this video, then please do feel free to give it a like. And you can subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. I like to do kit bashing videos as well as other content. And I'm always open to suggestions as well. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again in the next one.